Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Kuat Transfer V2 2-bike platform rack here on our 2020 Nissan Murano. Now right out of the gate, as you guys can see, this is going to be a great way of getting, yes, two bikes to the trails with you today on this platform style rack. However, a couple things I want to get out of the gate right away. Today we are on the 1.25 to 2-inch hitch version. So what that means is we only have a adapter sleeve on here, which is drastically reducing our bike limit on here. So with the 1.25 version, you're looking about 40 pounds per bike. Now if you were to upgrade to the 2-inch hitch version, then you're pushing that 40-pound capacity up to 60 pounds. So depending on what you need, I definitely recommend taking a look at which hitch version you guys need. Today we do have the 1.25 version, so we will be at 40-pound capacity per bike. You will notice too today we have our carbon frame bikes up on here. The reasons we can do that, we only have a tire hold to actually hold our bike on here. No frame contact, so we won't be warping those carbon frames as we get them on here. With that tire hold as well, a lot of issues you have with the hanging style and even some of those other kind of platform style carriers that actually have a frame style. We won't have any issues with step-through bikes, women bikes, or kiddos bikes, as we are just clamping onto that front wheel, not having to worry about exactly what that frame does. Talking about the carrier itself though, biggest thing you'll notice right away is its unique U-shaped design. As you can see, that's going to be great for allowing us to have nothing in our way to go ahead and walk up these big bikes. And that's why I definitely recommend checking out that 2-inch hitch version, because I think for the U-frame, you really want to start capitalizing on this mounting experience. That way you can get underneath those big heavy bikes with no trouble. You know, if you are at those 30, 35-pound bikes with these things, then you really aren't needing this really cool U-step. It is nice and it does look good, but you are kind of losing on that capability of getting your center mass underneath it. However, you can see these ratcheting arms do a good job of getting out of the way. They are very easy to use with this lever system. They do a good job of ratcheting down, but not popping out. On the end here too, you will notice there is an integrated locking core. It does come with the cable lock, which has been a great way of just running it through our bikes, plug it in here, and that way our bikes do stay nice and secure to our rack when we leave it unattended. You will see that we do have these cradle systems too. They aren't going to be anything too crazy. The straps themselves aren't really made for fat tire bikes, as you can see. It does have a nice little standard groove for those 18C standard tires, as well as you can see widening out for the mountain and other kind of standard bikes in there with no trouble. I do like the big front cradle as well for those tires. It does a pretty good job of maximizing that space that we can actually utilize. Well, to take the bike off isn't going to take too much time, but before we do, I want to go ahead and start capitalizing on one of its other great features. As you guys can see, on the very inside here, we have that little lever system. Now, keep in mind, as you get a second bike here, this is going to be a little bit harder, so I definitely position it to where we could still maybe get a boot underneath it. But to actually release this and tilt it away, I just simply have to press in that lever. You're going to see this whole system comes down. Now, keep in mind, as you get heavier and heavier bikes on there as well, it is going to be a little bit more weighty, so we'll make sure we are watching it as we're getting it off. But as you can see, you can easily open this hatch with no problems. We have a pretty decent sized handlebar in here. As you can see, it comes not even close at all. So even with some larger handlebars, I think we're doing a good job of accessing the back here. Now I get those coolers, bike helmets, anything I might need, especially if you're at a gas station. It's nice that we don't have to actually pop this off all the way to actually start accessing our hatch, which is a big thing that I like about it. Go ahead and just walk this guy up like so. That lever is going to go ahead and catch itself, and it will stay just like that. You can see, very hands-free. I really like how much I'm not spending on my hands and my knees, getting underneath here, reaching down for that assembly. All I have to do, push my boot, and it's ready to go. Now to actually release our bike, won't take too much time at all. We're going to go ahead and grab our strips like so. Get them off to the side, out of the way. And that brings us to our last point of contact on our bike. So I want to make sure I do have a good hand on it. Don't want it tilting into the bike or the vehicle or ourselves, causing any kind of damage. And all to release this arm I have to do is press in this little lever here. It is kind of an ergonomic grip, which is nice. Push that to the top and off to the side. And imagine too, if this was, you know, a big old 40-pound bike, I could get underneath here, get that center weight right with me and walk it off quickly and easily. And you can imagine too, mounting's just going to be as easy. I think your biggest trouble you're going to have are these strips being in your way, but as you can see, getting them tucked up to the side and walking that wheel in makes it really easy to actually walk this up. Now we do want to keep in mind a couple of dimensions. Right out of the gate, I want to go ahead and give us a clearance dimension while we are in this position. As those front wheels go up, everything in the back wheels will go down, especially as we get more and more extended from our rear axle. So let's go ahead and just get a quick little check here. I think our furthest point is actually be the wraparound here on this arm, as you guys can see. So from the ground to the end of there, it puts us right at 18 inches exactly. So with 18 inches, I don't think we're going to have any issue with clearance at all, but just be very careful if you are having extremely steep terrain. Maybe you're doing a little off-roading in the Murano. I'd just be a little careful with that guy. Now, with any hitch-mounted accessory, we are going to be adding a little bit of length to our vehicle as well, so it's important to keep that in mind. But we do have a way of actually shortening it out quickly and easily for ourselves. From the rear of our bumper here to the very end, puts me right at 33 inches. Actually, maybe just an 1/8 or 1/16 beneath that. So 33 being our maximum. Definitely a little length to consider, especially if we want to pull this in the garage maybe, or get a little bit more maneuverability in those parking places. We do have a way of shortening down that length. We're going to come right back to that lever system. And as I push that in, instead of allowing it to tilt down, I'm going to simply walk it up, making sure our arms are to the side here and into position. You can see there's going to be very little to no play there. A little bit of a side-to-side action, and I think that's mainly from us being in the 1.25 inch position here. But you can see, not going to be coming close to our Murano. Has pretty good resistance here. As you can see, that arm wants to walk itself up a little bit. If you were really worried about it as we were going, we could actually go ahead and get this kind of secured with this strap here. However, for today, I don't think we're going to have any issues. It does have a very good resistance, as you guys can see. But if you were worried about it, we could have go ahead and condensed that down. Well, let's take a look and see how much we actually shaved down there on that length. And from our lever here, puts us right at 11.75 to the very end. So definitely shaving out more than half of that length. Keep in mind that platform is nice. It is doing a good job giving us nice spacing, but we are adding length. Nice that we can go ahead and cut this down. Don't think we're going to have any trouble at all getting this in the garage or those tight parking spots. A little close here on the back end with this cradle here, so I want to give us just a little look-see here. Putting this right at 3.5, maybe just a little under that. It's about 3.25 inches between our cradle and our Murano. Plenty of space though. Don't think we're going to have any issue at all. Let's go ahead and give a little dimension here for our clearance in this position. Again, don't think we'll have any issues, and our main worry is when we are carrying those bikes. But just taking a look here from our lever to the ground, puts us right at 12.75 there. So again, pretty up and well out of the way. You can see that assembly does a good job of making this already have a pretty good natural rise. As long as you're being conscious of it, don't think we're going to have any issues. Moving our way to the inner assembly here though, you will notice we do have that 1.25 receiver, as we mentioned, with that 2-inch sleeve adapter. And moving our way in, you are going to notice we just have the little alignment pin here with a clip. Now this isn't doing anything too crazy other than making sure we are aligned, as you can imagine, and a last case safety device. However, our main power comes from our anti-rattle device in here. Now this guy actually is great because he also doubles as our security element. You'll notice on the inside here we have that little indent, that little kind of metal prong that's sticking out. So this won't be a normal Allen key. You will have to have the included tool to tighten and untighten this guy. So what happens is I tighten this, it's actually tightening the cam on the inside of our receiver there, which is bringing it in line to our hitch, which is going to be doing a great job of bringing this all into one system. As you can see, that takes out a lot of that innate play that we're going to have. That makes for a nice smooth ride for ourselves, our bike rack, but especially our bikes. So love to see that. Very easy to use too. You know, keep in mind that is adding a tool that you'll have to keep with the vehicle with you, but I think it's great because it does double as a security measure. There's not a locking cord that I have to worry about, and I'm also on my hands less because I'm not tightening down a bolt on the inside. So very nice little feature there. Well, I think the Transfer does a great job. I mean, it's pretty lightweight as well. I think it's nice and low profile. Looks great on the car. Couple things to keep in mind. As we mentioned though, with that 1.25 version, I think you're really reducing what this bike rack can do. I recommend, especially if you do have that 2-inch hitch, just kind of going up the model. And if you are just looking for a great way of just getting two bikes to the trailhead with you and you're not needing all this, you know, extra stuff, I might recommend taking a look at the Hydrax Destination 2 bike rack. It is doing a great job of getting pretty similar weight capacities to the 1.25 version. However, we aren't having to do that whole tire hold position. Definitely going to be saving just a little bit of money if you're just looking to get yourself up to the trailheads. Well, I think that about does it for our look at the Kuat Transfer 2 bike platform rack here on our 2020 Nissan Murano. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.